All right. Welcome back to Dance Bros. It's been like 3 weeks now. We haven't.
The
I
the
think the last
Vikings
time
just
we
signed
last
the
we
Vikings
talked to
just
you.
signed Jamal Adams.
Oh,
That's random.
that's
That's so
that's
random.
nothing.
What?
We can get up in a second. It actually could mean actually a lot, to be honest. Um, it actually means something huge, but
Could be.
hopefully not. But I think last time we got in here was we did our NBA our top 10 all time,
Yeah, we are just
and I mean to be honest, my number two guy all time, I think has to drop a little bit. I'm not sure if I can still have that
my
guy.
number 1 is gonna be dropping due
I'm
to
not sure if I can have number two anymore.
I think this is the worst decision he made in his career.
My thing is like, yeah, if so, Golden State would have been a horrible option. That would have been almost as bad.
If it was Golden
But
State, it would've been like, "Okay, that sucks," but, like, you know what? I get it. You're friends with Steph, you wanna play with him, it's cool. But
at least he's not going to Golden State in like
yeah,
2019. It's
yeah.
not like he just played them. Not like he just lost the. It's not like he just blew a 3-1 lead to the Warriors and then joined them the next year after they were 73-9 or anything like that.
You know,
If anybody ever did that, that'd be insane.
him going to
I would
Golden
never
State
even been
would've
a
just been
player.
strictly for vibes, just to have fun.
And imagine that though. Imagine playing a team in the Western Conference Finals and then blowing a 3-1 lead to that team that you played in the Western Finals, and that team that
Mhm.
you lost to was the best team of all time, and you go and join that team the next year. Imagine someone did that. That'd be insane. No one would ever do that
But
though.
no, well, especially not, like, top 5 player in the NBA at the time would never do that.
Yeah, arguably would. Yeah, for
Maybe
sure.
even
Top
probably top
three
3 even, actually.
that time. Yeah.
At the time, it was probably
No,
3.
but yeah, because it was like kind of it was before Harden's MVP season.
It was I mean, he is you could argue it was I know you don't like him, but I would've said it was literally LeBron, Steph, and KD were probably the 3 best players
Yeah, that's
at the
who
time.
it was. Even at
Yeah.
that time, Steph was unanimous MVP the year before, and then
Yeah,
uh,
year before.
but Kevin Durant had been the second best player in the league for the last like 5 years before that.
Mhm.
It was LeBron and KD. Uh,
But
but
on that note, though, if there was he like, what, 5 teams to choose from, and he chose the worst one?
chose the worst city for sure.
How many games do you think between LeBron and Embiid are gonna be played?
Do the 10 games where you have Maxey, Brown, Edgecombe, LeBron, and Embiid on the court. Those 10 games are actually gonna be a movie.
Yeah,
But
it'd be fun to watch, you know, it's just funny that Jaylen Brown wanted to get out of Boston, he wanted to be the number 1 guy, but then he went to
joins and Maxey and Embiid, who are both better than him, and LeBron
yeah.
will have the ball in his hands more than
Well,
him.
I saw
And
Sham say
Edge
that
comes like coming out to be a Edge comes on the pace to be a better version of Jalen Brown, honestly.
and Shams just said that they're planning on having LeBron be the point guard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he'll be the LeBron will have the ball in his hands the most, and then Maxey and Embiid are going to be scoring more than him.
Mhm.
So
Definitely interesting
fourth
choice.
option.
I don't think he realized how good I don't know if the choice to not come to Minnesota was LeBron's choice. I have a feeling that maybe his family members
It,
don't wanna live in Minnesota.
it's crazy irony how Philadelphia is known as the city of brotherly love.
Yeah, and
It's literally like the least loving fan base in all of sports.
yeah. But you know what's the worst thing though about if LeBron was thinking about his family, Minnesota is the number 1 state for volleyball, or like number 2 or 3 maybe. Top 3 state for
And
volleyball.
and it's like one of the best states to have a family in.
Yeah, but, you know
Most of his kids are out of the house now, but still has Zuri there.
yeah, but you know what? We're moving on. We believed, and you know, maybe he'll be a Timberwolf in February, who knows, but we
Yep.
believed, and it didn't come true, but it's fine.
We're
We have
moving on
Ant.
from him.
We have Ant.
We're
That's
moving
all that
on.
matters.
Yep. we have the best backcourt in the NBA. That's what matters right
Yep.
now.
Yep.
So, today we're gonna move on from the NBA though. It's only what August 6th is the first uh football game back. That's only a couple weeks from now.
Well, I mean, it's next week.
The Hall of Fame game
It's literally next Thursday. Yeah. Training camp starts. Well, some teams started already, but the Vikings start on Wednesday,
starting.
so I think most of the league starts this week.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I
we're
mean that's
finally football season.
I saw a couple of teams uh practicing already, and there's definitely one player
Yeah.
that we'll have to talk about here in a second. I saw a video of them like
I'm assuming you're talking about AJ
I'll get
Brown.
criticized. Oh, we will talk about him too, but I'll get criticized for talking about someone else.
Oh, because
Um,
the AJ Brown clip is going viral right now for his route that he ran. Again, I mean,
it's pretty bad.
well, it was. I mean, to be fair, it was against Christian Gonzalez, who's like probably top 5 corner in the NFL, but it was
I guess
like
that is so. I guess how I kind of want to go about this is I made a list of just key points. So I guess I can bring up a couple points. You can bring up a couple points as we're going. But as my first question, I guess entering training camp and preseason is first of all, how big of a loss is AJ Brown for the Eagles, and
Eagles.
how how much of an addition is that for the Patriots?
So that's an interesting question because it's been a big talk on Twitter right now is AJ Brown, especially like Eagles fans are kind of chiming in a lot about him. Um, it seems like it's almost like when the Vikings lost Diggs, when we traded Diggs, how
Yeah,
those fans were celebrating because they got Diggs, but we were like, yeah, well, he's just, he's a locker room guy. He's not, he's toxic. But so it seems like one of those situations from what I've seen on Twitter. Eagles fans are like, they're glad that he's gone, but obviously, if you're a Patriots fan, you got wide receiver one finally. So I think it might be one of those situations where it's a positive for both teams. Like, Patriots are going to benefit obviously because Drake May's finally going to get a true wide receiver one, which will only elevate the other guys. And then the Eagles got rid of kind of that toxic player that was in the locker room. And Devontae Smith is a good receiver. Devontae Smith is a wide receiver one. Like, he's not. It's not like he was a wide receiver two before because he couldn't be a receiver
he's not
one.
any worse than AJ Brown.
Yeah, no, he.
He's not worse than no, he's not worse than AJ Brown. AJ Brown had those 2 years, like it's like 3 and 4 years ago,
I think AJ Brown's
where he was like
first year with the Eagles, he was better. Like he was.
well, he was like 1,500 and like 10 touchdowns or
It
something like
was
that.
like
Like
2022, I think it was. Yeah, 2022 was that first year of the Eagles, I think. And that year, I would say yes, he was like a top 5 receiver.
the
But
next
Devontae,
year next year he had a really good year too, and then the last 2 years it's
yeah, I'd say.
been good,
I
but
mean, Devontae has always been, I think, like top 10 to 15 receiver since he's, or at least like around 15 probably at worst.
it's probably been top three wide receiver duo.
Who? Oh, those two, yeah,
Yeah, outside of Jefferson, Addison, and then Chase and Higgins.
yeah. And then that one year of like Cup and Puka was,
Yeah,
I think
but
Cooper Cup injured for
the
most of the
thing,
year, but
my thing, looking at like the Eagles depth chart though, like who's stepping up now? Who's playing wide receiver two? Well, Makai
um,
Lemon as a rookie. They have Hollywood Brown coming in. Uh, Dontavian Wicks, not very good.
we've,
Elijah Moore,
we've seen that one.
I was high on early in his career, but Elijah Moore's not been much. So they went and got Makai Lemon in the draft, like, which he's one of the best, supposed to be one of the best rookie receivers. He was first round pick, but like if your other option, if he doesn't play that well right away, and your other option is Hollywood Brown, I don't know if Devontae Smith and Hollywood Brown is really a 1-2.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because he never really got a chance to really play with Mahomes that long. Like he was injured or things just didn't really work out. But when he was with the Chiefs, I thought he was gonna explode with the Chiefs. I thought he was like the perfect player for to play for with Mahomes, but so I don't really know exactly what he is anymore, but I don't think that he's it's definitely a drop off from Brown and Smith, but
And then compare that to the way the Patriots look now. They have AJ Brown, Romeo Dubs, and Keishawn Butte and Pop Douglas.
I mean that's a solid. I mean,
I actually see my thing is like Dubs coming into the NFL. He was like, I remember I made like a list that year of my top 10 favorite players entering the draft, and I had Romeo Dubs up there with Carson Strong because that duo at Nevada was basically, if you win me money in college, I become a fan of you. And that duo, Romeo Dubs and Carson Strong, was a really good duo. So I was like big on this guy, and then he goes to the worst team in the NFL.
yeah,
But now I can actually cheer for him again.
almost ruined his career, but luckily he got out.
I can actually cheer for him again. So I think I like that duo better than the Eagles, unless Mekhi Lemon plays well as a rookie.
I will say though, I always did like feel like he was annoying to play against when they would play the Vikings. Like
He's good.
it seemed like he
He's a
always
good player.
kind of worked us. Him and Jaden
He's
Reed both did, but
well better than the overpaid receiver.
yeah, overpaid and overhyped second year guy.
Uh, yeah. So what team do you think wins that? I mean, it has to be the Patriots. Obviously, they're the one that got
Yeah,
the play.
I think
I think it benefits the. I guess a better question. I think it benefits the Patriots more than it
it's
hurts the
it's
Eagles.
not. Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, the Eagles could have been maybe doing just kind of like what the Wolves did with Randall. It's like addition by subtraction, but I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't think you can say it's gonna hurt the Patriots. I think a worst case scenario, you're still gonna get a
I'm
decent
not gonna
guy.
hurt the Not gonna hurt the Patriots. I mean, like, does it help the Patriots more,
Oh
or
yeah, I
does
think it
it hurt
hurts.
the Eagles more?
I think it helps.
Patriots more than it hurts the Eagles.
You know, it's a good question because I didn't think I thought the Patriots receivers were pretty. I mean, they didn't have a wide receiver one, so I think it helps. I think it helps Drake May the most. If anything, like I think we've seen throughout the last since I've been watching football, I've seen like when a quarterback gets a true receiver one, it literally changes everything for them.
Yeah,
So I think that's gonna help only make Drake May
Patriots more.
better.
Yeah, that's fair. Uh, for the other like key points I have is just more just like I have a few like 5 teams I'm looking at. Like, there's a lot of questions about these teams,
Yeah.
which I'm focusing more on like what's it gonna look like during training camp more than what's their record gonna look like. We'll do records and stuff like that in a
Yeah,
couple
that's
weeks.
I always like to
It's
I
more like what position battle.
yeah.
looking at more like what position battles are we looking at right now?
I honestly I think I'm more I think I'm definitely more pro preseason than most people. Like I love watching preseason games.
I like watching I like watching the rookies and betting on preseason.
But like
Dude, last year I had a crazy run on Fliff on preseason games. I was doing a if I would have actually played it through, I think I would actually completed the 1-to-1 K challenge, but I was withdrawing my money and I wasn't betting all of my money. But I made probably $1,000 on preseason from just a $1 start. Literally just betting on all I do is look at the quarterback room for the preseason
well,
games.
I was about to say, think about this well. I think for quarterback rooms, you don't have to look much further than the Vikings for I mean, our three quarterbacks are Murray, McCarthy, and Wentz, and then I mean Brosmer too, but like those are three guys that have
I was like watching the Giants last
yeah, was it
summer.
last year it was like
DeVito
DeVito
was our
and
QB4.
Winston
DeVito was
and
QB4. Wilson and Dart,
yeah, Wilson, Dart,
Winston
Winston.
and
Yeah.
DeVito. So DeVito was QB4 on in their room. So I guess I mean We can talk about that Vikings debate now, or we can talk about someone else first and go back to that.
I was gonna say, I feel like let's just say that one for last because that's probably gonna be the most lengthy one since it's one that we care
The
about and know about the most.
That's fair. The other team that I was like looking at for position battles and kind of questioning like what are they going to look like before the season starts is the team that's on pace for probably going to be the last place team in the NFL this year, which is the Dolphins.
Yeah,
Dude, outside of A Chain, that team is abysmal.
the
They lost
Dolphins.
not having Tyreek or Waddle, losing Tua. So you have Malik Willis at quarterback. This is their right now on ESPN their depth chart receivers. Malik Washington, Jalen Tolbert, Tutu Atwell.
It's gonna be hard for me when we do our record predictions. It's gonna be hard for me to give them a win. I think.
That's what I'm saying. Like looking at that team right now on paper, I don't see many teams that are going to be. I'm not sure how can be a team that's worse than that on offense at least. And
Yeah.
it's not really a quarterback battle either because Malik Willis has proven that he's not. I mean, I was never a Malik Willis
Well,
guy, but he's
so
not great. You're not going to go put Quinn Ewers in.
no. And the thing is, if you look at some of the other like bad teams in the NFL this year, that will the teams that will probably be in the top 5 for draft picks, like they all have something that's gonna probably go for them. Like I guess I don't know the exact teams. Like the Cardinals.
Dolphins have age him. That's it.
The Cardinals are gonna be bottom 5 team, and they have they still have Jeremiah Love, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison, so they'll have a decent Michael Wilson too. Their
Yeah.
offense might be okay with Brissett at quarterback, so they might not. I mean, they're still. I don't think they're. I think they're gonna be bad just because first of all they're in a tough division, but also just they're just not. I mean, the defense is really bad too, but like I'm trying to think of some other really bad
Well,
teams.
yeah, the other thing is A Chain's entering his 4th year right now, so he probably. I'm guessing his contract is
Mhm.
either 4-year contract or maybe a 4+1
Yeah, or like
player
oh
option. But if they're horrible, if they're last place team in the league, there's a good chance that he could leave too.
oh yeah, he's a
Like,
Viking. Oh yeah,
oh yeah, for sure. But imagine A Chain leaves after this year.
yeah, he's a Viking.
That team might be the worst team in history if
Yeah,
they don't replace him next
literally,
year.
if he leaves without
Replacing him,
like even if you trade him, you're probably still going to get like a few picks. You're not going to get like he's
a
still running back.
star. Yeah.
But then another some other bad teams like the Jets, they still have. I mean, they have Garrett Wilson. They drafted Amari Cooper, Kenyon Sadiq too. I mean, they have.
Well, the Jets is another team that I was gonna talk about.
I'm not saying they're going to be anything special, but I think they could be. They're a team that like if they're playing on Thursday Night Football, it might not be the worst game anymore.
Does does my guy finally break out this year? Does AD Mitchell finally have his breakout season?
Well, but he might be receiver 3 this year. If
Omar Cooper?
yeah, and Sadiq is tight end, so it's like it might be a breakout in like his role. Like I think it could be maybe he finds his role on a team.
Because I was so high on him coming to the NFL.
Literally, so when I was talking about the Dolphins on my phone, I literally am like writing down names. I'm like, okay, A Chang, and then it's Malik Willis, Malik Washington. I said, oof.
Tua,
I
Out with him.
wrote the words Malik Washington, wide receiver 1, oof. I mean,
That's what I was saying. Like that team might that they might be one of the worst teams in
and
NFL history this year.
the problem is I actually like Malik Washington, but he just can't be a wide receiver 1.
I like that's like I like the other two receivers too. Like I like Tolbert, I like Atwell. If Chris Bell comes back, he's one of my favorite rookies. I like Kevin Coleman,
Yeah,
Jalen Rager. Maybe Jalen Rager is lower on the depth chart than when he actually should be.
Jalen Rager.
Yeah.
Jeez. I I just saw a post. Someone posted the highlights from the 33-0 comeback game, and it was like, but Paul Allen was with Paul Allen as the talker,
Yeah.
and oh my gosh, it is so funny. The play where uh Jalen Reagor stops running and Kirk goes to interception.
Yeah.
Like he gets so mad.
Get him off the field.
I think it's Pete Burchess is like, yeah, get him off the field. Get him off.
Yeah. That's my favorite video that gets circulated every once in a while. It's just
Oh, it's because
how mad PA was during that entire game.
oh my gosh, because when Paul Allen starts yelling at the punter, he's a terrible punter
And
too.
and when he starts yelling at Gilmore for
The
like telling
cheaters,
Gilmore to be
the
he
cheaters.
should be get Gilmore he should be ejected.
Stop it! You
That's a
keep
dirty
cheating. You
that's
keep
a
cheating.
dirty play.
Oh, he is so
He was
funny.
so mad that
It's so funny, dude. I love PA. You have any other
other
team
team
you've
I was
written
looking
down?
at. Yeah, a couple other teams I was looking at. Browns, like what's going to happen in their quarterback room. Uh,
Let's
who's
see.
going to be playing? Who's going to be playing in the preseason? Like, is Judkins going to get any time in the preseason this year? Last year he was. You remember he was holding out before the season last year, so he didn't play anything
Yeah,
in the preseason.
uh, the Browns are. I don't even know what to like. It's. I
They're one
mean,
of the teams that's like I'm not sure you're gonna say about the Browns. I actually like what they have going for the next couple of years.
I think so too. I don't know. Well, look at the team. Okay, well, first of all, obviously you are replacing Myles Garrett with also a really good edge rusher, but he's not Myles Garrett. Jerry Verse is good, but it's like the defense is still going to be good, but I can't. I'm trying to think of what their offense is going to look like.
So I mean, all these guys are gonna be playing preseason probably. Like so, right now they're listed wide receiver 2 and 3 are Casey Concepcion and Denzel Boston. So they're both rookies that are gonna play in the preseason. Uh, like I don't know who's gonna play in the preseason between Judkins and Dylan Sampson and Raheem Sanders.
Yeah.
Uh, Tillman is already like in like year 4, so he's probably not gonna be playing in the preseason.
Well, I mean,
But Malachi Corley should be playing preseason. Jamari Thrash.
I guess
Like
the offense will probably. I mean, obviously it depends on the quarterback because
that's a team that this could be a betting team in the preseason.
I
Taylor Green is a wide receiver or quarterback 4 right now, and he's not a very good passer to be honest, but he's probably the most. I mean, he's probably top 3 most
well,
athletic quarterback
I
in the entire
mean,
NFL.
if you think about it, the
He's
other three
insanely
guys
athletic.
either getting
Gabriel and Sanders will both play the preseason because
and
they're still competing for that
even if
spot.
Deshaun Watson plays, he might play too.
Might play a quarter.
He hasn't played in 2 years.
Yeah, so that could be a like between Watson, Sanders, and Gabriel. They're all
I don't think
actually decent
I don't
quarterbacks, and
think
then Green
Deshaun Watson has that like I don't
doesn't
think
have to play ever.
I don't think he has the whatever word I'm looking for to not play in the preseason anymore.
Yeah,
I think especially not playing for two like he hasn't played in 2 years. So
that could be a this could be
it'll be
a
interesting to see who wins that QB jobs. I think Shedeur Sanders is probably the
and
I
that wide
mean
receiver room is. I mean, this is going off their how they were in college, but their wide receiver room is deep, so
he's a
that could be a team.
I like
Maybe a team to
Concepcion.
look for
Obviously, and then Jerry Jeudy is
for betting in preseason. I think
who's
the
the tight end
Browns might
now
be
though? Who's the tight
my
end
teams.
now?
Fannin.
Okay, yeah,
So like they have a good team. Like they have a good team coming up.
because Njoku went to
If
the Chargers,
Shador,
right?
if Shador can be a quarterback, I think if Shador can be a legit quarterback, which right now is he shows glimpses. Which if you can show glimpses as a rookie, it means that there's something there. Uh,
Did you?
his biggest problem for Shador is like at Colorado, their offensive line was so bad
Yeah, and
that like he just got trained into his mind that whenever he gets a snap, I have to scramble instantly.
yeah,
And now he's in the NFL and still tries doing that. It doesn't work the same. You can't just start running immediately when you get the snap.
no, I think the NFL about it's almost like it's way more important in the NFL to play on schedule, I think.
The only quarterback I ever saw, like, maybe not the only one, but was ever like really obvious to me that okay, this quarterback actually has the worst offensive line ever was Daniel Jones before he went to the Colts. It's
Oh,
like I remember watching them and like, yeah, that was kind of how Shador plays, but Shador doesn't have to play. Where it's like you get the snap, instantly have to scramble because their offensive line is that bad.
I mean, there's
Most
been a
offensive lines in the NFL aren't going to be, like 1 second instantly back there, but Shador still plays like that.
no, and but then I mean, there's been some where it's been really bad though. Like those Daniel Jones early on with the Giants was really bad. Like Kyler Murray early on was, and then
Cardinals,
early on, and then also like the last few years too, it was really bad.
some of those Jets
Mahomes in the
teams,
Super Bowl. Oh, dude,
yeah,
when Zach Wilson was playing, oh my gosh,
and Darnold seeing ghosts.
yeah. Oh,
Uh, those like the Panthers teams a couple or a while ago. I don't know,
yeah.
5 years ago.
Luckily now Bryce Young actually has a. I mean, they're not the best yet, but they're at least they're something. Just there's something now. They were
Something
really
there.
bad his rookie year, and now they're pretty decent.
Yeah. So the Browns, I think, yeah, I think the Browns will be interesting for the preseason because there's so many position battles and they're so young
Yeah,
that like everyone's still earning their spot. They're all on rookie contracts basically. That they could be a fun team to watch in the preseason.
yeah. I like there's I like to watch a lot of most of the bad teams mostly for preseason games because those are usually the ones that have
The
more.
young guys.
They have more young guys and they have more guys that are actually playing for a spot.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you're watching the Rams, their third preseason game, they're not gonna have none of those guys are playing for a start, like a rotational spot. But like
They're just playing for a
watching
roster
the
spot.
Browns, they're gonna
Yeah.
have those guys are all playing for a rotational spot at least.
Yeah. Um so the other teams, there's kind of quarterback battles.
I think.
I guess this team actually has more than just a quarterback battle going on, but I was talking about the Falcons.
Well, it's. I don't think it'll be a battle yet because Penix is gonna be out for probably the first few weeks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for sure, training camp. You'd think he's gonna be at least limited.
He's listed as questionable right now, so I'm not sure
Well,
how long the
when
injury is
did he
going to be.
trade this? When was it? Wasn't it late in the year?
Let me see how long he's supposed to be out till.
And I mean, yeah, I want to say it was later in the year. I thought, but it's
It's
also not
November.
his first time tearing his ACL. That's even.
He's been a full participant in 7-on-7s.
Hmm.
He's working towards being ready week 1.
Oh well, I guess today the
It was
ACL is pretty
November.
much.
It was November, so it wasn't like late.
Oh, I guess the ACL is a little different. It's not the same as it was.
No, it's like a 7-month, 8-month injury
Because
now.
when AP tore the ACL in November,
He came back 9 months, and
it was like the
what?
biggest thing that he played week 1. It was like, how does he? Because he tore his ACL in late November, I think, or early December.
I think it was. I want to say it was like Thanksgiving
I
time,
think it was
or
like week like 13 or 14.
yeah.
So
But yeah, he used to be like a really long injury. Then it was like AP came back in whatever 9 months, and that was insane. Now it's like a 7.5, 8-month injury.
yeah, now the real one is Achilles. That's the one that's.
But even that one's coming faster than what it used to be.
Yeah, but I feel like that one has I feel like the Achilles you've seen more of a when someone tears their Achilles, you see that their like speed and stuff has dropped.
Oh, in that
I feel
aspect,
like
yeah.
I feel like that aspect it affects the player more when they come back, not necessarily that they're coming back later. Just that
But their recovery for Achilles now is
yeah,
still
because
pretty crazy how fast it is.
Aaron Rodgers was trying to come back. Like was it wasn't he trying to come back in that season he tore it?
Yeah.
Yeah, which would have been crazy, but
Um,
well, because who just tore their Achilles? last year and is already back. But anyway, I was seeing something online that someone was coming back from an Achilles injury, and they're like, "Oh, are we gonna get Dante in November?"
Yeah.
Is so maybe it is a better maybe
It's not horrible.
yeah. I hope so because I want Dante back. Another one thing I
So
was
like,
one thing oh, it wasn't like it's not really a battle, but it's a choice. Is the Raiders are gonna decide what they're gonna do if they're gonna. It's because it doesn't seem like they're just gonna go straight with Mendoza. From what
I
I
was gonna get the Raiders. I'll get the Raiders in a second. I was still talking about the Falcons.
oh okay
Outside of two on Penix, like right now, the wide receiver one is set with Drake
yeah
London.
Drake London.
Right now, they have Dotson as wide receiver two on the Falcons, which he's another one of those guys that I was really high on earlier in their career.
Well, I
On
was
Commanders, I
when he
love
was
him
on
on
Commanders. I thought
Commanders.
he was about to be wasn't
Have a
because
breakout.
his first year at the Commanders. I'm pretty sure wasn't he like let me look up his stats. I
He
remember
was he was 500 yards his rookie year and 7 touchdowns, which is a good 507 touchdowns is a good rookie season.
well,
I was
especially
like,
with on that team, it would have been obviously it wouldn't have been number one.
he only played. He's only in 12 games too that year.
Yeah. So yeah, but that's the thing. Like if he plays 5 more games, he probably would have had a 900-yard season with 10 touchdowns.
With Sam Howell at quarterback.
Which and that's the same. I mean, that's what Jordan Addison was his first year was 900 yards, 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So I
So like
really thought he was about to be big when he took a year.
the wide receiver three is Olamide Zaccheaus, but
I like Zacchaeus as a three.
yeah, no, but Jahan Dotson might be one of those guys. If you're doing a fantasy drafts anytime soon, if you're not doing like if you're doing redraft leagues, that's something you actually might want to take a look at this year.
Especially in like a 14-man league, that might be
Oh yeah, you might fall too. So
yeah. Because it helps that he didn't do much on Philly in Philly. Besides, I mean, last year he had some good games. I know, I remember.
yeah, I will say their wide receiver three, third string wide receiver three on ESPN depth charts is Lemecky Brockington.
Hmm.
So if you want to go for any Gopher players, I'm not sure he's make the roster, but that's just another. Yeah, it's just one of those teams that's like, what's going to happen there with the wide receiver room with Dotson, Zacchaeus. They drafted Zachariah Branch. Then they have a bunch of guys that just are unproven or young guys that haven't played yet. So
Yeah,
you get some sleeper draft picks, or you know, try to take a chance, try to take a chance on someone that's lower on that depth chart, and maybe they pop off somehow. That's the thing with a lot of these teams that I'm talking about right now. It's like with the position battles, especially at wide receivers. It's like I like to take a chance in the late rounds of redrafts. Try to go get one of these guys that might end up being a player, and all of a sudden they contribute for you because they're on a bad team.
I think. Yeah, usually my late rounds are like kind of like that. I just try to find the who who changed teams is what I usually look for. Like if there's a young guy that hasn't been productive, I try to find the guy who's changed teams, who's gone to a better team, I should say.
So that could be Dotson there.
I like Dotson.
Yeah.
I think I have him in one of my dynasty leagues, I think.
Um, but now we can talk about the Raiders.
Yeah, I just wonder what like I'm just trying to think. Do they have to know that they're not winning this year, right? Like that's so then you get to
It,
decide as a franchise. Is it better to give my future franchise quarterback the snaps and the plays, but risk it going poorly, or do you give him the year to sit and just sit behind Kirk for a season or at least half season and see how that works? Because
I
either way, you're
think.
not going to win anything.
Well, I think people are underlooking on the Raiders is the Kirk connection that he has. the Kirk hardly nowhere connection might actually be like up there for one of the best quarterback wide receiver duos in the NFL.
You think Kirk and Naylor are gonna?
They have that
I
chemistry,
I miss him, but he hardly even got the ball when Kirk was with us. He hardly even played.
but you never know. You hardly know.
Yeah, I was like, he didn't really start playing until like Darnold season.
That'd be kind of cool though. I'll cheer for the Raiders if
Like,
Naylor's doing what if Naylor's actually playing like legit wide receiver one, wide receiver two spot. Like I'll I'll cheer for the Raiders this year if they
I,
have Kirk playing.
yeah, if they have Kirk and then Naylor, dude, yeah,
Yeah.
it's easy. But I just like
Patriots West, buddy.
the Raiders they're going in the right direction. I will say because
They're building. It's going to be a
they
process.
signed Linderbaum. They have a
Yeah,
quarterback that's supposed to be, he's a first overall pick, so he's got to be something. They have a good running back,
then you get
tight end.
then you get a bounce back year from Bowers.
Yeah, I just personally, it seems like it seems beneficial to have Mendoza sit.
I think they will. Like I don't see why you go get Kirk if
That's the thing is because
I don't like the idea
I
of
could
just being a
see,
mentor.
I could
Like
see it. Hmm?
I don't like the mentor quarterbacks that are oh you're getting this guy to be a mentor, but you're still going to play the rookie right away.
Well, yeah, I could see
I think
a team like if a team like I don't know, the Chargers got Cook. It makes sense because you want because Herbert has history of getting banged up a little bit, so you want to have Kirk there as a safety. But the Raiders, there's no reason for them to have a safety valve for trying to keep the season alive. The season's already dead.
yeah. No, I think it doesn't make sense if they're gonna.
Oh, there's
Some
Christian.
teams, some teams try to go and get a mentor quarterback to mentor their rookie quarterback, but if you're still starting the rookie right away, then like how much learning is actually taking place if this guy is trying to prepare to start every single week?
Well, I
I don't
think
think there's actually. I think you're going to be learning a lot less than what you're intending.
if he says it,
Yeah, if he plays,
yeah, if he
it's
plays,
like I think you have to. I think you have to sit and learn. You can't play and learn.
yeah, I think historically it's shown that sitting a year and learning is better. And Christian, we were talking about the Raiders right now.
Hey guys, did you guys just see Jamal Adams?
The Raiders, dude, you
Jamal Adams.
are
It's not working. It's not, dude. Middle of Indiana is not working
yeah,
for you.
Jamal Adams, dude. Yeah, we got Jamal
Jamal Adams.
Adams.
Yeah, you're a Viking. DB, I'm in
The
Wisconsin.
cell service
It's not
and
working, Christian. It's not working.
the cell service in Eau Claire is not great.
All right, see ya.
Kick
Oh,
him,
I don't know.
kick him.
I don't know how to kick him. Okay, I thought, yeah. Well, I think unless you have anything else. Wait, I did have something though. It's not a battle, but I am curious this year. What Who do you think if let's say they both play a full season? Who do you think is actually going to come up top is CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens?
See you, Lamb.
That's what I think too. But
I I'm not sure if you know my opinion on
but
George
I
Pickens.
think I'm not saying I think CeeDee Lamb is better. I think he's top four receiver.
You're asking the wrong guy that question.
I know. I wish Christian was here. Christian would
I'm
have been
like
into it.
I'm like the biggest George Pickens hater, and I've never been a.
Dude, you ruin everything because Christian would have been right into that.
Even when George Pickens plays well, I don't even. I've never been a fan of him.
Dude, okay, that's fair, but he makes some pretty crazy.
Oh, dude,
But
we're not.
what?
It's always to be would like it because George Pickens makes cool highlights.
Well, I'm saying Christian. If I would have said that, Christian would have been right into it, and he would have said yes, maybe.
I'm not a highlight. I'm not a highlight merchant.
Dude, he was like fifth in receiving yards last year, or
I know.
sixth.
he was good. But I'm saying even when George Pickens has been good, I haven't been
Yeah.
a fan of him.
No, I've been trying to get CeeDee Lamb in fantasy league. I've been trying to trade for him, but whoever has him doesn't want to give him to me.
The oh, so before I move on, the player that I was talking about at the beginning about clips I've seen, I'm questioning how things are going is the best quarterback of all time. Hasn't been looking as healthy as maybe people are hoping he is.
Yeah.
Apparently, I
Well,
mean the clips that they're showing are
yeah,
making him look like he's walking gingerly and like he's trying to take weight off of his left leg, but it's also
I know,
you can never take every single clip that you see in preseason and training camp as truthful.
but
A lot of them are used to misguide,
the
mislead people.
especially with the problem with him is that he always has a weird,
He
like,
walks weird.
he
He walks weird
walks
in
and
general.
runs weird. So it's like, how do we really know? What we need is someone to find a clip of him like throwing to his left from like last year to now, so we can see if it looks the same. Because I will say that one clip of him like rolling to his left and throwing, he did look like he was trying not to land on his left leg.
And the guy that posted the video, the one that I saw at least was like, "Oh, that's all arm." Like he was throwing with all arm there. Like, dude, this is Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, what?
Once he ever not throw with only arm? Like
Yeah.
he plays like a baseball player. He's always played football like a baseball player.
Like
Where
JJ, all arms, dude.
yeah, I mean that was Mahomes' background was baseball, and he plays quarterback like a baseball player.
Speaking of quarterbacks and JJ,
Well,
I think the NFL really missed here on having the Vikings be hard knocks.
I think that
It would have been a great.
I'm probably end up being wrong, but I think the people that think that McCarthy is starting are so far off.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. It's 100% Kyler's job to lose,
I don't see
but
how we lose it.
at the same time, I genuinely don't think that it is. I think Kyler has to look terrible. Has to
I
be.
don't see that. That's what I'm saying. I don't see how Kyler lose it. I don't think
It's
Kyler
not,
will ever lose it.
I think the only way Kyler. Here's what I think. If Kyler plays terrible, yes, I think he's okay. If he looks terrible, then it's like, okay, well,
Which
what do you do? But I
I'm
think
not sure.
if they look the same and they play in the same, you give JJ the start.
Okay, here's the thing though. Who is the person in the media that started driving this narrative that Kyler Murray all of a sudden wasn't good like whatever last year or 2 years ago?
I don't
And
know
what's the
who.
reason behind that?
Oh, I don't know. There there is there is a
He's never not been,
here's
especially given the circumstances that he's playing with.
yeah. So
Like, there's not many quarterbacks in the NFL that would play better than Kyler Murray given their circumstances on the Cardinals.
there are some narratives going on around him right now about him being like a check down guy. His average, his A dot is a big question right now. People are talking about. But here's what I think. If you look at his seasons in the NFL so far, where he's had a good team, at least like a
The top five MVP
competent
candidate for
play
winning.
caller and a competent cast around him, he's been good. Even in
Yeah,
2024, their team was decent, and he was between 8 and 15 in all of like this quarterback stats like QBR, QB rating, or passer rating, all that stuff. He was between like 8 and 14 or whatever. That's literally
that one year
that's
he was
really
like
all you need.
a top three MVP candidate or something,
Well, in
top five MVP
2021,
candidate.
he was MVP for the first like 10 weeks
Yeah,
when he had D Hop. Like when he's had, so he was really bad in between. Not really bad, but he wasn't that great in between. He also like, tore his ACL, I think. But then he comes back. He gets Marvin Harrison, who's not. I mean, he's not the best, but he's still someone.
it's actually crazy how young Kyler Murray was when he came to the NFL.
Dude, he
He's entering year 8, and he's only 28 years old.
think about how people perceive Kyler Murray about his age, and how people perceive Jordan Love.
They're the same age or what?
I think Jordan Love is like a year younger than him, but people perceive
Yeah.
Jordan Love as like some like young quarterback that's like just coming in. Like him and Caleb Williams are not the same when it comes to like age or like
No,
experience.
not
It's not, but people put them in the same category for some reason as like
they're
young and
like
upcoming guys. No, Jordan Love right now is probably that's who he is. That's probably like
that's
Caleb
my
Williams.
question
Caleb
is
Williams
about
is going
Kyler.
to be he still has a lot. Like we don't know what he's going to look like. Probably but Jordan Love right now is I think it's I think he's a finished project.
That's my question about Kyler is like, yeah. So who in the media ever made this idea that started pushing this idea that he's not good? Being hurt, okay. Unless the argument for this is the best ability because 2
Well,
of the last 3 years he's
yeah.
been hurt.
So I think
But when he's been healthy in the NFL, which if he has a good offensive line, I think he'll stay healthier.
which we have a pretty decent one.
And then you give him again the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. All of a sudden, like think
That's
about
wide receiver
what
trio.
Sam Darnold looked like on the Vikings. Kyler Murray is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold.
Here's so yes,
Ky-
I think there's two.
Kyler's never been. He's had worse stats, but he's never been a worse player than Sam Darnold.
Well, I'm pretty sure Kyler Murray's like career completion percentage is like 68.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
The Sam Darnold situation on like the Panthers, for example, wasn't
Here's
worse. Wasn't worse than what Kyler had any of these years in Arizona.
I think there's two sides to this. It's Kyler Murray coming into it is a better quarterback, better player than Sam Darnold was coming into the Vikings. But I think you could say that like Sam Darnold had like he's a bigger arm and maybe more arm talent than Kyler did. But at the same time,
It's
something
slightly overrated though.
something
It's a slightly overrated thing.
I'm not necessarily saying that that's like the most important thing. I'm just saying it is something.
Yeah.
But where I think people are kind of running with the narrative that Kyler Murray is just a guy that just wants to run around like a little kid. But I think people don't realize that his whole career, all his coordinators and stuff have been just trying to fit into his play style, which is maybe was like more, you know, like
RPO.
RPO stuff. But I think this is gonna be the first time where he's actually gonna be challenged to elevate his game because his whole career he's been put into a box where he's gonna play this way, but we don't know how good he can be in a system where he is not just running RPO, but he's running play action under center. He's having to make like, we don't know what we haven't seen that because but we've seen his arm talent in those systems. So you're telling me he's gonna be in a system that's more quarterback friendly and he's gonna play worse?
He's
What
it's
are
gonna be I think we gotta actually go get our receipts for what we said about Sam Darnold because I remember that Sam Darnold year. I'm like, yep, he's at minimum going to be throwing for 35 touchdowns and probably throw around 10 interceptions, and he's going to throw for 4,000 yards. And it was like, all right, that's what he actually went and did.
well,
I'm the same thing with
dude?
Kyler Murray here. I'm like, Kyler Murray's going to be throwing mid 30s of touchdowns. He'll throw
I
probably less
think
interceptions.
30.
I think between
'Cause
30 to 35. I think
my
he'll go
only
over
thing
30.
is I think there I think there's a few plays where let's say I think Sam Darnold threw like maybe 30 was it 33 or 35 whatever with us. I don't know. I know for a fact there was like one or two where he could have ran the ball in, but he decided just to throw it to the open guy. I think Kyler might,
Yeah, scramble it in.
and I think we might design more run plays in the red zone.
Yeah.
So I think it might drop just because of Kevin O'Connell wanting to run the ball more and be more effective that way. But I think like effectiveness is going to be the same level. And if we get that level of play, I mean,
Okay, so Kyler Murray's best season in the NFL, 2020, 3,900 yards. So say 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. and then ran for 800 on the ground with 11 more touchdowns.
And I think
I don't see why that was in year 2 in the NFL for him. I don't see why he
and
can't do better than that this year.
and the thing is, you could even say that at this point in his career, you're probably going to add more to the passing and a little bit less to the running.
Maybe a little bit. I think he's still.
No, I think he's still going to run because even last year he played 5 games, I think, and he was still a really good runner. But it's just the people that talk about his 10+ yards effectiveness or accuracy or whatever. But I don't know. I don't know
That's.
if
I mean, part of that is the system you're talking about earlier.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I
He's
don't know if
they ran RPO stuff. You're not going to usually look for deep balls in the RPO system.
a lot of people will talk about how his average
And
target is one of the lowest because I'm like, well, yeah, but think about the system they're running. They're running RPO.
okay, 2 years ago, he didn't really play last year. He was kind of, hurt most of the year. Okay, he still threw for 3,800 yards, 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
What year is this?
2 years ago.
2 years ago?
So his last full season playing. 3,800, 21 touchdowns, 11 picks. Ran for another 500 and 6 touchdowns. Okay. His best receiver was Trey McBride, so he's throwing to a tight end a lot. So that's probably not going to be skimming up deep ball passes to your tight end very often. Not throwing 40-yard touchdowns to your tight end.
No. And here's the thing.
Marvin Harrison Jr. was a rookie, and then Michael Wilson before he kind of had his good season.
Yeah, last year he was. Yeah, I think he's gonna be a stud.
And then wide receiver 3 was Greg Dortch. So not a great receiving room. Trey McBride was your best receiver at a tight end. So that makes sense why he's not throwing deep balls to those guys.
And here's the thing: after last year, don't we want the Vikings to do less? Like, aren't we kind of after last year where everyone's like, oh my gosh, why do the Vikings why can't we run these quick passes like this and that? I'm like, and now we're at this point in the season where people are like, Kyler does that too much.
Which
So I'm like, what do people want?
To be fair, it's also JJ's best. JJ also is better at throwing short out routes and stuff like that than launching it deep.
Like, you're saying McCarthy's better at throwing them?
Yeah, better than throwing it. He's not the best deep ball thrower in the NFL. He's not the best deep ball thrower in the NFL either. So
no, he was pretty bad at throwing quick ones too.
He's kind of bad at a lot of things last
year. I think he actually
had good stretches. So
I think JJ he actually was pretty good last year when he threw those 15-yard comeback routes on the outside the numbers.
Yeah,
those he actually did pretty decent at that. But that's
he had good timing. He had bad accuracy sometimes.
Yes, because honestly, a lot of times it wasn't his decisions that were bad. It was mostly just he just couldn't throw it.
McCarthy was also so streaky last year. He started the year looking all right. Middle of the year was horrible, and then they went with.
So my final statement is going to be
and then he came back in at the end of the year. It was all right at the end of the year. But Kyler was a first overall pick for a reason. He's never had a bad season in the NFL yet. He's literally never been bad. So why would he be bad on the Vikings with a better team that the best team he's ever had?
So my final statement on this will be this. I think if those two compete in preseason and Kyler Murray just looks unplayable, yeah, McCarthy looks decent, he'll probably play. I think if those two look very similar and O'Connell thinks that there's not much separation, I think you play McCarthy. But I don't think that's gonna be the case. I think Kyler Murray already he has to play really bad to even. Kyler Murray has to play really bad, or McCarthy has to play really good to make it a close race. Because if you look at the future, future wise, we still have 3 years of McCarthy on it, as on a team. So best case scenario is McCarthy just balls out and takes the job. That's best case scenario because then we have the quarterback like we have a quarterback then.
I just don't think it's possible.
No, it's probably not. I think it's a long shot, but you can't deny that best case scenario is you have McCarthy ball out, and he's just the quarterback because then we have what we wanted.
Oh
But
yeah. No matter who's playing quarterback, I hope they play well. But I just think
because
I'm saying I don't think there's any chance that McCarthy plays well, and if Murray if Murray's not playing well, there's no way McCarthy is, and if McCarthy's playing well, there's no way Murray's not.
yeah, I just don't want to have to go through this every year again. Where if Kyler Murray balls out, which if he plays, he's going to ball out. Like he's gonna play good. Then it's like,
And we lose
now what
him
do we
again.
do? If
But he's got to keep him, dude.
yeah, I think if Kyler wants like a middle class contract, like the Darnold
9.
one, if he wants to get the 30 mil for like Darnold got, give it to him. If he plays really good and wants like Josh Allen money, then no. Like, dude, that's ridiculous. But if he's okay with like Darnold money, like 30 million for 3 years,
Gotta give it to him.
you gotta give it to him. You can't. And I mean, to be fair, Nolan Teasley was the assistant GM that just signed Sam Darnold to that money. So you imagine that he's understands that that's capable if you have a good team around it. Which that's another thing. We were 1-9. I don't want to get too much on the Vikings yet. I will discuss it later. I was talking how won 9 games last year with the worst quarterback play, and
Yeah, we'll get to our whole team later on.
we'll talk about that later. Well, we'll talk about it later. But for now,
That's good for preseason. Those are some of the things that, as preseason's starting next week and training camp is starting right now, things to look for the next couple of weeks.
yes.
But today we're for our ranking rankings draft. Today we're not doing a draft. We're doing just our rankings. We're going through Christopher Nolan movies. Obviously, The Odyssey came out last week and has been doing numbers and kind of been the talk of
It's like I think it's at was it at
media right now
600 or 800 million? I think it's six.
already.
I think it was like 600. I think it was like 800 million or something already. And it's only been 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I went to it in a small town in Colorado opening day. And
So you
for the
saw
number of people,
so you saw it in this regular.
I saw it in a regular theater the first time.
I saw it in normal IMAX, and my gosh,
I'm going 70 millimeter
was it the
IMAX
loudest
next time.
for you? Was it the loudest movie ever? Still,
At times, yes.
it was the loudest movie I've ever heard in my life. I was like, oh my, I didn't know if it was like just our theater just turned up the volume, but then everyone else on Twitter was like, why was the movie so like it was so loud? But I loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah. No,
Should we go?
there's actually a lot of people that were there for even up in Woodland Park. It was actually a decent number of people that showed up.
We'll do it. I mean,
But
he's the goat.
I'm gonna try to. I'm going again in a couple of weeks to actually go see it in 70.
Nice. Well, he is the goat, so it makes sense.
So I guess we can start with our 13 and go up.
So I've never finished the following, but so that's why that'll be my 13 because I haven't seen following.
Yeah, so I guess we can skip. We can skip to 11 because I haven't seen the Insomnia or the following.
I've seen Insomnia. I still have it at 12, and I'm gonna say all I'll say about it is it was like a remake of like a Norwegian film, and it's a good movie still. It's like a 7 out of 10 movie, but it's just not a Christopher Nolan movie. It's like it's a good like crime drama type psychological thing, but it's
Which early on was kind of what I guess not really.
yeah, but it didn't have like
but
it didn't have like the timeline time stuff. Like it wasn't nothing. It was just
all of his movies do.
well, 1, 2, 3,
Saying that
4,
his series
5,
that he has. It sounds like his series that he has.
6, 7, 8. 8 out of the 13 movies do.
If you said a crime movie, which sounds like the series that he has.
I mean, it's kind of a crime movie, but it's like a detective thing.
Which my number 12, since I haven't seen the following or Insomnia, and I remember 11 is Dark Knight Rises.
I also have Dark Knight Rises.
Fun story is they filmed that football scene with Hines Ward returning the touchdown when the field collapses, which is a pretty cool scene. Which
Mhm.
for Mr. No CGI, they definitely had to be CGI, right?
It wasn't.
Football field actually collapsed.
Well, it's practical effects, dude.
How did they do? They just had like another
I
layer above it. Like
think so.
they create like a second layer above the football field.
I think so.
That's the thing that's cool about Nolan. But I was in Pittsburgh for mission trip. Christian was there too.
When they
We did a mission trip to Pittsburgh when they were filming that. So we saw like the set was set up inside when we were
Mm.
doing our. We were walking through the city and we went by Heinz Field and could see inside the gates. You could see that everything
Did you
was
see
set up in there.
Nolan?
Nope, they were. It was at night, so I think they're done
Oh,
filming for that day.
yeah. I think the movie is like it's still decent. It's still a good movie. I think Tom Hardy does an awesome job of Bang.
Bane is a good. He's actually a good villain.
But I think the movie, like the story itself, isn't that intriguing. And I think, but I do think it wraps the trilogy up perfectly and really well. So I'll give it that.
It's still
It's still like a 7.5 out of 10 movie, probably.
It's still very good. No, Bane's good. It still has some iconic scenes. It has the scene of taking the bag off of Bane's head, and you see Bane. Like, there's still
Still,
there's
it's
still
still
some
good.
classic scenes.
Yeah.
You have the scene in the cave with uh Christian Bale working out and playing his return. Like, there's still it's still good moments in that
Yeah, and
movie.
obviously, like the ending is pretty classic.
Yeah,
When it's like
that's
him and Alfred do the classic nod.
yep. Which
That actually happens a lot in the Christopher Nolan movies.
yeah, Michael Caine makes appearances in a lot of
I think he's in
Christopher
7 out of the 13.
Michael Caine. Yeah, that's kind of a classic thing that directors do. Directors work with the
Oh,
same actors.
especially like I think he has like especially him. He has I think out of in the Odyssey, I think out of all the main characters, I think only Tom Holland hasn't been in one.
Yeah,
All right, well, we have the same low, but I don't think we have the same 10.
my 10 is the first Batman movie in the series, Batman Begins, which
Really?
again is another like so the Christopher Nolan Batman movies are to me by far the best superhero movies ever. I guess that's something that people don't really maybe know is I'm not a huge superhero fan, like superhero movie fan. I have struggled to get into the Marvel movies. I There's some that I really like, other ones that I think are decent, but there's too many of them that it becomes oversaturated. Batman has been attempted to be made many times over, uh, but
Don't
Christopher
say.
Nolan's Batman by far, like I think he's presented differently. It's like it's not. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a
Not
superhero movie.
it's not by far anymore.
You think the
Robert Pattinson one is
Robert Pattinson
really
one?
good.
It was good. I saw that
I
one
like
too.
because if that is a trilogy, I like that one better than Batman Begins.
Yeah,
So assuming that there's gonna be
I
3,
I just like the way that like it doesn't feel like Christopher Nolan making a superhero movie when he makes the Batman movies.
but like
Like
uh,
they don't feel comic booky or like
I
you
think
know
that's kind of the same appeal to the Batman.
yeah that's why Robert Pattinson's movie also good. Like Robert Pattinson's Batman is pretty good for the same reason.
No, I agree, and I also have that as my 10. And the thing is, I think it's again I still think it's a like yeah I still love that movie. I think it's one of the best like superhero origin movies. I think it probably is the best one. And like you said about Marvel, it's obviously a lot different. And I think if you didn't like Marvel as a kid, it's too late to probably get into it now because not only is there so much, but like it's kind of cheesy a little bit, but
Some of them are more cheesy. That's why
but if you if
argue.
you grew up with the characters, then that's the main reason why you like them is because
I know people love. I mean, I liked Infinity War and Endgame, to be honest.
well, both those are
And I didn't even watch all the I didn't even watch all the other solo superhero movies, but
I
I do
think
like both of those.
I think I like always like the Captain America ones. That's probably my favorite. Obviously, the Avengers are the best ones, I think, but I think Captain America probably my favorite trilogy out of in the Marvel ones. Maybe Iron Man, but I think Captain America is my favorite one.
I
'Cause
haven't
Civil
seen them
War
all,
is
but
one of the
I
best.
like I like Doctor Strange just because I like Benedict Cumberbatch. I think he's one of my favorite
Well, the
actors.
second one isn't. The Multiverse of Madness is not.
That's good. But
No.
the first Doctor Strange,
Yeah, the first one's good.
good. So
Number,
yeah, we both have 10. We have the same at 10.
yep, but number 9, I think we might get
Okay, what do you have? Number 9.
Dunkirk.
All right, that's different than mine.
Do you, I'm gonna try to guess yours. I'm gonna say Tenet.
Yes, I like what Christopher Nolan does with taking time, playing around with it, trying to kind of distort time, but also like make it as like a crucial aspect of the stories that he's telling. But you don't necessarily need to tell a chronological story to best tell a story. But in Tenet, he takes it too far. It's like he's trying to
Do you
take
think?
Memento and Inception
Do you think
into
it's
one, and then
so? That's a fair point. Do you think it's too far because he does it at the same time?
like he
Like
does
in
both
the
those things. Basically, takes Memento and Inception and puts them into one thing. Like
but like
he
because
has non-linear and multiple stories happening, overlapping at each other at the
that's what I
same
was gonna
time.
say is like because obviously Memento it does that, but it's not going on at the same exact time.
Yeah, Memento is you have one story going one way and you
Yeah,
have the other
but
one going the other way.
I I
And
would
then
think
Inception, you just have like it's layers to the what's happening.
yes.
And then in Tenet, you have things that are going both directions and layers at the same
But here's
time.
the thing, I think it works.
I don't know if it does.
I was thinking the whole time watching it, I'm like, what is going on? But at the end, I'm like, I think it worked.
No, I was see the other movies like Inception and Memento, which are probably the most comparable. I understood afterwards.
But
I had to take it took me a couple minutes to like think about it, but eventually I had the aha moment of like, okay, I see what he did there.
okay, so
Tenet,
yeah,
I finished it and I sat there and thought about it. Still don't understand what I just
have
watched.
you rewatched it though?
Yeah.
Maybe I watch it again. Maybe
Okay.
last time I watched.
For people that don't know, I need to show them what the timeline looks like. Can you see this?
I'll just I'll put it up. I'll put it up.
That's what the story looks like.
Okay, but it.
So
I think the ending works though. I think when he's like, who hired you? Well, you did, and then it all kind of
he's
clicks.
yeah.
And he's like, yeah, well, this is the end of a friendship for me, but it's the beginning for you. Like that, it doesn't make sense, but it also kind of does. So I understand when people have it
It
lower
does, but
because
I
so
understood to a degree, but it was like it felt like he was trying to do too much.
so
And at a certain point,
that's fair. But so I
you're
have Dunkirk at 9.
taking away from it.
I don't think so. At this from this point forward, because I'm a Christopher Nolan glazer, like like a max glazer. So at this point on, I don't think any movie is below like 8.5 out of 10. So I really love Dunkirk still. I think it's one of my favorite war movies. The only thing that like doesn't have it higher is I just I don't know how do I think to me the biggest part with Dunkirk was visually and sonically. That is what hooks me and that's what gets me in the movie, but the story to me is not as compelling as the other ones. Even though obviously it's still a really
Which
good story, but it's just and it does do the time thing because like the plane is like what was it the people on the ship are a week, and one of them's a
Yeah,
day, one's an
it's still
hour.
not it's still not completely linear time
Yeah,
story
yeah.
or
So it still does
timeline.
The Nolan thing a little bit, but I don't know. It's just the story doesn't. It's I still have like 8.5 out of 10. So I don't want to like. I think I put 4 stars on my letterbox. So I still love the movie. It's just lower than the other ones. I don't know how else to say it.
Eh, To be fair, what you said, the only reason you liked Dunkirk is kind of what Nolan has now become, more than being more of like a someone that's going to make you think deeply about the storytelling.
Yeah, because like
He's become. I feel
yeah.
like Dunkirk was kind of the turning point where he became more of a. He cares much more about his set designs and cinematography and
Well,
the scale of the things that he's creating.
you say that, but in between Dunkirk and Oppenheimer was
Interstellar.
no was Tenet.
Oh, Tenet, yeah.
So, but I think actually we'll segue into that. My number 8 is Tenet.
But 3 of his last 4 movies have been more about
Yeah.
well, they're history. They've been like history based or
So
historical fiction, or
yeah, because
like the Odyssey isn't history,
so the
but
3 out of the 4 are like the
it's
story,
it's mythology though.
like the 3 out of the 4, the plot is already there because they're like historical stories where the
They're not new stories that he's writing for the
yeah.
first time. Which a lot of the stories that he's written have been originals.
So yeah.
Um,
But so yeah, that's number 8. I have Tenet, and kind of the same reasons why you had it at 9. I have it at 8, but I just liked it a little better, I guess. I just like it. I It works for me just a little bit more than I say.
my number 8, I have Oppenheimer. So similar thing. Starting at this point for me, my 8 and up are all.
It's
I haven't given them exact score, but I have them in my rankings, and they're all top 6. They're all my top 60 all the time. Which for people that don't actually go through things like songs or movies, people think like, oh, 60, that seems like it's kind of low. It's like when you think about how many movies have been made in history, or like if you're doing like songs and you have your 60th best song ever, it's like these are
dude,
still
there's so many
insane things.
so many movies. 'Cause I mean, movies almost like 100 years.
I mean, yeah, in total, over. I guess Oppenheimer I have a little bit lower. Oppenheimer I have 89, which it's still placed between two. I have it placed between Star Wars Episode 3 and Apollo 13. So 2 really good movies that are
Yeah.
surrounded still. But besides that point,
I think
Oppenheimer for me is I don't mind dialogue heavy movies. Oppenheimer's a little too dialogue heavy at
for
times.
being 3 hours,
Yeah. Um, like the court scenes get a little dry sometimes.
I think yeah,
But
I'll get to it, but
when you get to like scenes like the Manhattan, like the scenes at the Trinity test site,
mhm,
and when they're actually working on the Manhattan project, like those are scenes that are unbelievable. So like we are talking about earlier with the scale of Nolan's sets now and his cinematography, like
mhm.
Oppenheimer does it as good as any movie ever.
Yeah,
Um,
and the Oppenheimer score is, like,
Very good.
top 10 at least for sure. It's so good.
Yeah. And Cillian Murphy's like one of my favorite actors
He is
at this point now too.
one of the best. And just to make it easy so I can talk about it too, I have Oppenheimer at 7, and just so I can talk along with you is, like, I think the courtroom scenes are kind of the only ones where I kind of got, like, out of it, but I think some of my favorite scenes are, like, the ones where like, they're, like, early on when, like, they're in the schoolroom, whatever, and they're just, like, talking and on the chalkboard and stuff. That's one of my favorite. Those are one of my favorite scenes. Then obviously the actual test is, like, first of all,
Well,
how do
yeah,
you
especially when you don't, especially for someone that doesn't use CGI. Like
how do you even oh, and then
I like the memes like about
dude,
that. Like Wait,
Uh,
Nolan doesn't use CGI, and like he has like memes of people that
well,
are like,
dude,
oh
and then
jeez,
I think the ending of that movie is one of my favorite endings. When he's talking to
yeah.
Einstein, oh my gosh, so good.
Well, this Oppenheimer towards the end of his career, he does like uh he's he does this is like from the real life. He does the news interview where he says, "I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
Mhm.
Like you can really feel like Cillian Murphy does such a good. That's a really good job acting in that movie. Like you can feel
He's
the
so good.
weight. You can feel the weight that Oppenheimer is feeling in that movie throughout the entire thing. You can tell like how
Mhm,
he regrets what he created, that he knows the thing that he just built, this incredible project that they've been working on for years
mhm,
now, was actually this devastating
yeah. What a
creation.
great casting choice by Nolan.
Yeah. And that's kind of similar to so I don't have the Odyssey yet, but
I was gonna wait. I was gonna wait until
similar
we got.
message.
I was gonna
It's a
say until
similar
we got.
message in that
Yeah, I was gonna wait until we got. What was your 7?
my 7 is Dunkirk. So again, just kind of the I think the Dunkirk story, I actually think is one of the most interesting stories of World War II. Like the evacuation of the beaches in Dunkirk, especially
Yeah.
like the need to get all of the fishing boats nearby to be able to help thousands of people
Mhm,
evacuate off this beach is a really cool story that I like that Nolan undertook. So I think maybe as a history teacher, that's something that I just
mhm,
have a bias towards. But again, like talking about the same things again is like the scale of his sets are insane. And
yeah,
like the how he got this many people on some of those sets.
mhm.
And yeah, the size and scope is just like I don't know how no one doesn't sometimes. This is kind of where he started to move towards also producing things for large theaters and for like IMAX specific theaters.
I may be wrong. It might be the next one, but I'm pretty sure this is when he changed from Warner Brothers to Universal.
Yeah, it might have been. I'm not
I
sure.
it's either it was either Dunkirk or Tenet, I think, when he changed. So I don't and I just based off, like, the other movies, I imagine Dunkirk just because that feels more like the other like the later ones than the earlier ones, so
Yeah, I feel. I mean, it's kind of yeah. This is when he kind of starts coming towards production as being his main focus more than
the story.
storytelling. He's always been a good
Which
producer. He's always had good production and uh, cinematography, but like early on, the story was definitely a bigger role.
I think his brother wrote a lot of the
You ever heard about his one brother that
yeah,
he has?
which
He's like a
what
hitman,
which is funny that
international hitman.
yeah, and his nickname was Oppenheimer,
It's crazy.
which is so funny, but anyway, my number 6, which I think so from 7 on, I think it can fluctuate a little bit, but I think from 6 on here, at some point, this one might be my favorite. By the 6, I have The Prestige. What do you have?
No, I have the Odyssey.
Okay, well, for The Prestige, I think this is like I think it's one of the best. I don't even want to really call it a plot twist because it, to me, a plot twist is something that just like happens like that. But if this one is more like a, just a deception where you don't really know what's going on, but when you watch it again,
The coolest thing about the Prestige is literally the way he describes the magic trick at the beginning. You
mm,
have I forget the words are, but you basically have someone that's watching. You tell your story. You have some kind of twist in the middle, and
mm-hmm.
then you present it at the end. That's exactly what he does in the. That's
And
exactly what he does in the movie.
the whole yeah
That's how.
the movie
That's how the plot plays out.
yeah the movie is literally the the title of the trick is literally the title of the movie. It's like I mean, literally, I think not one of the first lines of the movie is, "Are you watching closely?" And I obviously when I watched it, I didn't take that literally because when you watch it again the second time, it's like, oh my gosh, like yeah, that make like it makes sense. But then first time I watched it, I'm like, when, like, I would have never thought that whatever the sidekick's name was his brother or whatever, his twin brother. Never would have
Christian
thought of
Bale.
that.
Christian Bale ones.
Yeah, Christian Bale's.
I see. That's my thing. Is when I was watching it the first time, I took everything they said. I trusted. I don't know. Maybe I just trust Michael Caine more than anyone else. But like when Michael Caine tells them, yeah, they're brothers.
Well,
Like
he doesn't think about it. He says he has a double, and
I believe Michael Caine from the start.
see, but I thought he was saying that because he didn't want, like, because he just didn't believe it. That's why I was saying, like, he just didn't believe it. He's like, it has to be double because I can't believe. But then you watch it back again, and I'm like, yeah, that he's literally just telling you what it is a double.
Yeah.
And then
See, I still have it higher, but it's not for the plot twist per se. 'Cause I can't remember I remember the first time I watched it. I think I watched it again immediately the next day. So maybe this is like 4 years ago. The first time I watched it. Maybe my memory is just like twisted. I just remember the second time, but I think I did not get as strict as what the intention was.
well, and then I also like the whole his wife's like, some days you love me, some days you don't, and I can tell.
Yeah. It wasn't like it's not like I
Oh,
figured it out from the start, but I also wasn't like I at the end was extremely confused like some of the movies.
it wasn't confusion to me. It was more just like it just like clicks.
Yeah.
And also, just want to say this: Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman are awesome in the movie too.
There definitely are times in that movie, yeah, where it's like maybe you're definitely confused. Like you're questioning things that you're seeing.
Yes.
So like when Christian Bale's character feels like he is bipolar almost because it's two
Yes.
different guys.
It.
But it's like, okay, why is he like really nice? Why does he
Yep.
love his wife sometimes and sometimes he doesn't love his wife? And why is he does he have a side girl or is like who is this?
Yeah. It.
Like Hugh Jackman's assistant that becomes Christian Bale's. It's
Yes.
like, all right, who are they actually liking here and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you're definitely left questioning the whole time, which is kind of more how a magic trick also works. Like
It's
you're not like you're just watching along and then all of a sudden at the end it just like has a crazy twist. It's like
if
the
you.
whole time the whole time you're skeptical of what's happening, and at the end it's revealed to you and you
Mhm.
figure it out or you don't.
Yeah. It's. Yeah. Exactly.
Uh, yeah, I had the Odyssey at number 6. Same thing to I think Dunkirk, Odyssey, and Oppenheimer to me are kind of like in their same tier for me, where it's like the things they do well are all like they do the same things very well.
Hmm.
Uh, but I think the Odyssey does them better. I think the acting's a little better. I like Cillian Murphy. I think Cillian Murphy's the best of any of those 3 movies in Oppenheimer. But in Odyssey, I think the overall casting is actually very good, which I'm not sure why people are criticizing it because then you go see it before they actually
Yeah.
have their own
I
opinions
have
on
it
it.
as F5. My next one, so I'll talk about it
But
too. Is
but again, it's like again, like the sets, sometimes you're just left there.
oh my
They
gosh.
actually like some people don't people that just like watch movies just for like casualness or you haven't really watched many movies in your lifetime or you just haven't watched very good ones. You actually don't start thinking about how they make the movies. You're maybe not that impressed. But when you actually think about,
Yeah.
okay, how does he actually make this? It's like, all right,
Well.
the set designs are actually insane for this movie. Like how they made the
Hmm.
Cyclops and how they are actually in the middle of the ocean for a lot of these scenes.
Yeah. It's.
Like most people aren't going to go into the middle of the ocean for these boat scenes. They're going to have green screen and some kind of setup in a studio. But here, like everything is real or practical
Sorry,
effects.
I'll be right
Like
back.
they're not using green screen and CGI for everything.
You can keep talking. I'll be right back. You won't think your list.
Hello, Kanan.
He's not sleeping. All right. Well, he has to go to sleep here soon, so let's just
You can make a guest appearance. I can.
let's just like top off the list here.
All right. So yeah, I was thinking about the Odyssey is I kind of already went through it, but I guess we can just go 5 through 1.
Yeah. So my 5 of the Odyssey, Memento, The Dark Knight, Inception, and Interstellar. And if you notice, like my favorite Nolan movies are, besides The Dark Knight, really, are the ones that kind of mess with your mind a little bit and are like the timelines, and they're all visually really good too. So
Yeah, one second. I'm gonna have to go back and forth. I can't even keep a track of yours.
okay,
All right. My 5 is Interstellar. What was yours?
The Odyssey.
Okay. I have the Prestige at 4,
I have Memento.
which some people are gonna think I'm crazy for having Interstellar at 5.
I think
But
you're crazy for that.
I have the Prestige at 4. 3, Inception.
The Dark Knight,
2, Memento.
Inception,
And 1, I have Dark Knight.
I have Interstellar.
I feel like almost flipped. Uh, so for me, it's like The Dark Knight. Well, Hugh Jackman's performance. I was talking about actors earlier. How much like Cillian Murphy's performance. That's the best,
Heath Ledger.
arguably the best performance in movie history.
Heath Ledger.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Heath Ledger. Like he did his assignment, but at what cost at the same time?
Yeah.
Memento is my kind of personal movie. It's like my personal favorite. Whenever people ask me for what movie to watch, I always recommend Memento.
It's so good.
That was a movie that got me. I watched Memento I think I watched Inception first out of all these movies. Actually, I saw Dark Knight before them
Honestly,
and the
oh, Dark
Batman
Knight.
movies. I saw Batman movies when they first came out.
Yeah.
But then I saw Inception, then I saw Memento after that. But after Memento, I was like, all right, I need to go through every single Christopher Nolan because like that was a movie that actually left me
Hmm.
confused and going back to rewatch it. I think I watched it maybe 4 times in the same week.
Yeah. It's. I think I watched it back to back days when I first watched it.
The criticism people always say about the movie is, well, some just say like the role of Lenny isn't actually that good, but like I think his acting's performance, Guy Pearce, whatever his name is,
Pretty good.
the main actor, and I've never felt like for how good some of the actors are in their movies. And in Memento, you actually feel like you're in the guy's head the entire movie
Hmm.
because the way that the plot works, like having the 2 different timelines, uh, it's creating this like thing in your own brain for a guy that has short-term memory. Like it's
Hmm.
only giving you snippets at a time, so that you only know as much as what he knows in that scene. Like you never see other things that are going on. You're with this guy the entire time. Like, it only follows him around through every
Yeah.
single scene. So you only know as much as the guy with short-term memory has, which kind of drives you insane at the same time.
Hmm.
Like you're always
Hmm.
wondering, okay, how did this guy end up in his bathroom, or why is this guy laying in a? How you get in this girl's bed?
Honestly, Memento could be one
All
for
these
me
kinds of
too.
things.
Like it could be one, and I wouldn't even like think about it because Interstellar has just been my favorite for so long. It's hard to top it.
Are we are we doing spoilers on this?
I don't know.
I'm gonna spoil something for if someone was listening at this point.
Oh no, don't do it.
The what?
Don't spoil. Just go watch it.
Yeah, I want to say something so badly. Like
Don't.
my favorite underrated part of that movie is, I'm gonna say it, I guess. My favorite underrated part of that movie is when they're going backwards in scenes.
Hmm.
The color scenes are always previous. When all of a sudden he's like, when they figure out how he's got his suit, like why is he the entire movie he's wearing a beige suit, and you think this guy is like, oh, he must have been like kind of a classic dude. Like maybe he was working something nice.
Mhm.
He's actually like a flannel and vest kind of guy at the end, and you
Mhm.
figure out that how he got this. I'm not going to say how he got the suit, but when you actually figure out how he got this guy's suit,
Yeah.
it's like, wow, I never expected that.
Yeah. See,
So the other thing is I won't say anything else, but you get to trust that guy throughout the movie. You learn to trust the main characters,
yeah. I
and pretty much every movie always leads you to trust the main. You always are led to trust the main person because in
Mhm.
most movies the protagonist is the main character.
Yeah.
And in some ways he's a protagonist. Sometimes, some ways he's an antagonist. Sometimes, some way he's just kind of used by the people around him.
Yeah. He's just kind of. I don't know what I call him. He's just.
The people use him and
Yeah.
abuse him. So he's not really a good guy or a bad guy. He's a guy that has a mental problem that people are taking advantage of. Which different movie, but I just watched Obsession the other day, and that kind of reminded me
It
of that.
was creepy.
Like who's the protagonist and antagonist in that movie?
That one's weird. That's a weird one.
But yeah, all right,
Nope, that's moms. All right. Well,
all
that's
right.
our
So
list.
those are our Nolan movies ranked. I'm
Mhm.
gonna have to go rewatch all those again.
Yep.
All right. If you're still watching at this point, leave a comment of what your favorite Nolan movie is all time. But oh, nice, broke my phone almost.
Yep.
But
It's time to go.
all right. Thanks for listening again. We'll be back consistently here for the next month.
Yes.
And longer. But bye, Kanan.
Say bye.
Bye, Kanan. All right.
Bye.
And good evening.